Hey guys, welcome to VintageGenetics, where we aim to sculpt physiques like the golden era. It's all about classic bodybuilding on here, and I am personally 1.5 weeks out from my contest, so I'm also throwing in some alternative exercises to keep stimulating those muscles. So today is a lower back plus hamstring workout. They tie in very well together. And whenever you train hamstrings, you feel your lower back and vice versa if you do a lot of free weights. So today we're combining these two muscle groups, and we start off with the mid to low back row. I'm not sure how else to call it, but this is to warm up the whole back area in general. So put the seat up as high as you can, and this will emphasize the lower back and squeeze it hard every time. So this exercise was really to get the blood flowing in that area. And then next up, one of the best exercises for squeezing the lower back row on the cable. Grab the bar about shoulder width and let your elbows go right beside your body as you pull backwards and squeeze as hard as you can. And by the time you finish this exercise, you will feel an insane pump already. You know, it's like something is hanging off your lower back when it's pumped, especially when you walk, at least for me. So, yeah, if you want to fill up that Christmas tree, definitely do exercises like these. Then up next, another great exercise for squeezing the lower back. My coach taught me this one. But I do this one a little differently from how most people do it, as you can see from how I'm positioned. I sit back in the seat a little, so that the squeeze is that much more intense. And also put your legs behind you and simply rely on the chest support on the machine to keep your body upright and focus on pulling the weight with your lower back. And always stretch out your arms on every exercise, of course. Then this is the first exercise that really ties in the lower back and the hamstrings together. And this is called a good morning. Usually done with a barbell, but that wasn't available, so I opted to do the hack squat version. A little more challenging, but it's pretty much the same. You keep your legs straight and bend over with a slightly arched back. You know, you don't want to damage your lower back, you don't want to put too much stress on the spine, and you bend over until you feel your hamstrings stretch out a lot. You want to feel that tension build up as you go down, and when you go back up, you squeeze your hamstrings and glutes to activate them once more, and automatically you still work your lower back as well. But this time you work the spinal erectors more, which are attached to your spine, which also gives you great lower back thickness. And then we hit the stiff-legged deadlift with the dumbbells, and this exercise looks a lot like the previous one in a sense, but with the dumbbells you can hit your hamstrings in a different way, squeeze them in another angle, especially if you hit your rep range like I do right here, 6 below the knee, just you go up towards your knee, not higher, really stretching those hamstrings, and 6 full range of motion, where you squeeze your hamstrings and glutes at the top to make sure you include all those muscle fibers. I'm sorry guys, my chest, you know, it wasn't being worked, it was feeling neglected, so I had to give it some time to shine, of course. Anyway, the last exercise before we hit the hamstrings, the hyperextension, and this is pretty much the perfect fusion of a lower back and a hamstring exercise, at least for me, especially when you go all the way up and all the way down, because at the bottom you stretch out your hamstrings, and when you go up you activate your lower back to do so, and when you are at the top you simultaneously squeeze the lower back and the hamstring. So it's definitely an exercise you should often do for development in these areas. So now we start hitting the hamstrings, and as we already hit them from several angles in the previous exercises, we will hit some basic and effective exercises for the hamstrings. You know, usually the more basic, the more effective and proven they are, of course. We start out with the seated leg curl, and what you should focus on is the squeeze. You should get a deep squeeze here, so make sure that if you would watch yourself from the side, your legs would be bent beyond further than 90 degrees when you squeeze them. Then the next exercise, one of my favorites, we hit the laying leg curl, and this time we focus on the stretch a lot, because this exercise really lends itself to give a good stretch to the hamstrings, but also make sure to squeeze hard. You won't really be able to go really heavy on this one. Normally if you go heavy, your lower back and glutes would assist, but they have been worked pretty hard already, so really try to focus on the hamstrings here and make them burn, especially at the top. And the last hamstring exercise to finish them off is the individual leg curl. And these are great for making sure to hit every last muscle fiber and squeeze hard at the top. You can really fill them up with blood one final time, flush them out, and at the last set of this exercise, as with any other set, you should go to failure or at least be close to it. You know, a lot of people ask me, but yes, I do increase the weight every single set, usually starting out with a warm-up set, and then the next set is already difficult, and the last one or two sets are close to failure or complete failure. So I decided to add some abdominal work to this workout, keeping the waist tight. I like hitting the obliques like this. I never literally do it sideways, as I believe that will actually expand your waist, but I like to twist my upper body so that I hit the part of the obliques that I want to hit. So basically point your elbow to your other knee as you go up to hit them correctly. And then the last one, the stick twists to finish the obliques off. Lots of reps, getting blood in there and squeezing them at every rep. So that was it for today, guys. I'm going to be uploading more nutrition related videos over the next couple of days. I thank you for watching and subscribing and commenting. Please keep doing so, and remember to stay golden.